writing a book, especially when it is a maiden book, is a experience by itself. I can see the glow on her face. I can see she's been waiting for this event, and I know how important it is to have this kind of a book launch. Um, Even though this was supposed to be a physical event, and I was supposed to be in Bangalore, and probably all of us would have been actually having a physical copy, not a digital copy. The good part is that in spite of all the challenges, on the decided date, the release is happening. So be it the challenges in the outside world, what we call as paristiti, which is not under our control, she has kept the right manastiti to make sure the book release happens.
Hello.
So congratulations.
Yes.
So congratulations on making sure that on the decided day it happens.
I can see you.
And all the dignitaries present over here, I would like to also thank each one of you because each one of you contribute to this book directly, indirectly. Uh, Friends, I thought I should. What difference can I add to this inaugural speech of a book? I don't want to tell about the story because we already heard about the background of the story, some of the characters. But I want to actually, thank Captain Sahana because I've been part of this journey right from the beginning. So it is not just come out with a book, now you release it, and now to talk something about it. I've been fortunate that I was able to go through the right from the ideating stage. I was able to read the whole book, give some inputs, and of course write some review. So I would say that more than the book and the content, I would actually probably go through something which I liked about the style of writing, which is very important, and the person, the writer itself. Okay, so the book you will get it. You'll get it on Amazon. The physical, digital copies will be there. But since there is a process which not many people know, I thought I will talk about a little bit of a background. So I would say that let us start the journey not only as an author but somebody who is supporting authors. So that's where spark comes in. So, sometimes we don't realize that the passion that comes in has got a background. So I got connected to Captain Sahanaji when actually she called me for training up some budding authors. So look at it. There's a background of writing this book about the passion not only as an individual but as a group. So I see the collective people, and of course you also have to write a book. The second thing which all of us have to remember is that she's got the writing skills even in her DNA, thanks to her journalist father. So, look at it. This is something that we say in our Indian culture that we have to give it back to those people who blessed us. In fact, this is one thing common between me and her because my father is also a writer. So if I have written 21 books, it is not because I am a great writer. Maybe you just get it in your DNA by the blessings of your parents. And her own book, she dedicates, the book to her father, husband, and of course the whole family. So I would say that it's important to remember those people who have made you what you are. So you have done that so beautifully. With this background, I like to probably spend a few minutes on the writing style. Remember, the subject may be the same, the topic may be the same, but there are so many writers. For example, you look at Ramayana. Okay, Ramayana is not somebody's copyright, but everybody brings in a new dimension when you write about Ramayana. So that is very important to know that the story is unique, but there is something about the writing style. And I usually study the author's background along with what is the uniqueness of the writer. And I want to just point out a few points over here. Writing style is very simple. Writing style is very unique. Why am I telling you this is because, writing can be a very lonely journey. Writers don't give, great extempore speeches when they're writing. Writers have to get into a small den, which we call the individual space. Maybe if you're writing on a laptop or the piece of paper. And that is where creativity happens. You have to enter into yourself before you actually express in words. If you look at the characters, each of the character has been described so beautifully. And that is what comes as a unique thing. The way she has described everybody, of course, right from the hero, Anand, to the woman and everybody around, that makes it a very, very unique part of it. What is very important is that the first impression that everybody gets, and of course, Captain Sahana has mentioned it will be directly compared to Siddhartha, of course, our Coffee Day founder. And she's already clearly said this, yes, even though the story may start with Siddhartha, but there's much beyond that. And let me tell you, she had kept Siddharth's character, even though not the part of the book, very dignified. She has not belittled anything, saying, I don't know what he did and right and wrong. That's not the point. You can get inspired, but you can actually give respect to the character. And all of you must be seeing the latest news that happened 2-3 days ago also, that his wife is currently turning around the company. So from maybe 1,000 crores to maybe, from 7,000 crores, she's bought into 1,000 crores. So that's where I find, the kind of a role that women play in every man's life and vice versa. In the introduction of the book, we also heard about the matriarchal system that's very prominent in the South Indian part of our culture. And I come from Kerala, and you see if it's Bangalore, even if you look at Andhra, look at Tamil Nadu, the matriarchal system is very powerful. Okay, it's a very part of a social system. So the woman over here, and of course, Sahana ma'am herself is a very dignified woman who's worked with the uniform and that kind of a professional background. You start respecting those ladies. Each character commands a respect, not demands a respect. And that's the power of a writing style. And that's very important that, the woman in the book have that amazing kind of a contribution by the very presence and the way she has described it. And the last point which I want to mention is basically the storytelling. This is not storytelling, this is story writing. You have to visualize, and when you get into reading a book, you build a new world around yourself. You flow into the world, you build your own world, and when you come out and say, wow, there is some connection of these characters with me. And that's what a beautiful writer does. So the writer takes you into their world, but they actually connect you to your world. I repeat that. A writer takes you into their world, but finally connects you to your world. So even with the fiction, let me tell you, there are realities of fiction also. I would like to end up for all the new budding authors, because I know that's also your mission in life, that she's helping so many authors. There are 3 processes that an author goes to, especially when you're a first time author and you don't know the process. The first stage is writing. The second stage is publishing. And the third stage is selling. So I would say that congratulations, you're on the third stage. Writing has happened. Many people can write books. That's actually not a book. It is called a manuscript. A lot of people think if I've written something, that's a book. It is not. Its writing is important, first step. That's where the publisher comes in. And I would like to congratulate the publishers also, which is a part of it, for giving it the right shape. So right from the font size to the cover design. Look at the cover design, so beautiful, right? It's painted and there's a lot of creativity around it. The color combination. Believe me, it's not easy to design a cover. To deciding the right pricing, to making sure that these feedbacks and these reviews come on the back page. A lot of things. So let us not forget that's a major contribution to every book. Writer, publisher, but now the third part, all of us present over here have to contribute. The selling part of it. Because you can have a great book launch and it is that. But I would say that the best gift you can give to any author is not a bouquet, it's not a pen. By the way, all authors get lots of pen and they forget that today people write less and type more. So definitely you should give them lights gift. If this was a physical event, I would have also gifted something. But the best gift that you can give to an author is to promote the book in our own little way. It only requires a little bit, I not say a little bit, it just requires a large heart to say that, I will read your book, I will buy your book, I'll share it on the Facebook, maybe I will put some positive comments around it. So my request to everybody attending over here, please read the book, promote the book, and I'm sure this is going to be on the bestsellers list. And very soon, maybe somebody will pick up this, make it into some movie or a web series, because that is where creativity starts. So with that, I would like to congratulate the author, the publisher, and of course, all of us would be sellers for being part of this launch. But this is only the start of the journey. And we will be together. Yes, I promise that I'll be part of this journey, not only till here, but till we achieve what we call the Amazon bestseller list. All the best. Thank you so much. Can I take a minute, if you don't mind?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry, what happened? I was so captivated by Sahana ma'am and everybody around that I actually forgot to mention about wisdom. And when you so I would just take 1 minute because I prepared my notes, because as an author, when you speak, you have the habit. So can I take a minute to just complete the wisdom part of also?
Yes,
So
yes.
what happened is that wisdom is coming and going. I think there's an internet connectivity. I'm not sure whether it's around. So just want to tell that, it is not just Captain Sahana's book, it's a co-authored book. And in co-authoring, the writing style I spoke her, but the writing style of wisdom also comes into a very important part. He's from Nigeria, as many of you know, and he's having a publishing house. But what is important is that he's also a writer. Okay, and he's been writing children's book also. And let me tell you, it's very difficult to write a children's book. When you write for a children, you have to be childlike, but not childish. Okay, I like to bring in that point. You cannot be childish because the beauty of the language has to come in. But at the same time, you have to be childlike. You have to connect to a child. So I can see that the kind of a co-authoring that happens is merging of two styles. And therefore, I would say that the contribution that comes is a unique style. Of course, Sahana ma'am just spoke about, but he also understands publishing. I would say it's not just an Indian book; it's a global book. There are two global authors from two different parts writing on a subject which is already global. Okay, so I think I also want to pass on my congratulations to both the authors. Once again,
Thank
congratulations.
you. Thank you so much.